So how deeply committed are you to your surrender? How deeply committed are you to the unconditional act of letting go? It's another one of those spiritual oxymorons. I love them. Spiritual irony. How committed are you to undoing what is a kind of an obligatory attachment-based relationship with whatever thing or said group of things, right? It's hilarious, isn't it? How committed are you to non-commitment? But it's a great question. Like, how committed are you to that process? Like, what is the quality of your surrender? Because the quality of your surrender is going to lead to a greater quality of presence. That greater quality of presence is going to create more space, and it's going to allow for the emergence of that deeply authentic core within, right? What is that version of yourself that has a voice, has a great voice, has a tremendous, powerful voice, but hasn't been enabled through choice? Because the current beliefs that you might be holding are preventing you from engaging that core. It's kind of like a semi-cognitive dissonance between belief and choice. In fact, that's exactly what it is. What belief structures are you holding which are leading you to repetitious choice cycles that are taking you further away from that essence within? That inner child, that inner artist, the deep self, the deeply, authentically abundant self, however you want to term it, many, many, many names for it. Just what is that essence of you, and what is the belief that's preventing you from really being with it and nurturing it and surrendering to it, most importantly? Because when you think about surrender, we can surrender many things, but really, I believe like the core essence of it, like, and this is what I found on my journey so far, I'm sure there's far deeper truths, but I'm guarding against this being an absolute, but I feel this is a great truism. All surrender, right? We're going to go with it for the time being. All surrender is actually a surrender to the self. It's a surrender to the deep core and the deep presence that is us. That's surrender. And I'm really journeying and playing with this universal idea of surrender at the moment. Maybe it might be undone, maybe it might be undermined somewhere along the way, but for now, that feels incredibly solid for me. Surrendering unconditionally with each and every choice, each and every day, week after week, month after month, season after season, to the deep self, the authentic self, that core essence, that eros within us, that inner child, the inner artist. That's surrender. That's practical surrender, because we are here on a choice-based mission. We came down here and we said, I like me, them's choices that this DNA light body skin suit is offering. I want to play with them choices. But the thing is, as we come in as a pure soul, great, we can make all the choices, but we're kind of like stuck in a little baby's body. And by the time we grow up, we have all of that conditioning, which is forced, projected, imprinted, and vomited all over us. And so that deep self, that deep, clean, pure soul expression of self, it can't make the choices that it came down here to make. Those choices can't be voiced. And so this is where the process of surrender comes in, and really being with the quality of it, being with the quality of being with our beliefs and going, oh, right, that belief is just sponsoring this intentionality, which is sponsoring this choice and this ongoing series of actions, leading to this really dissonant expression of embodiment right now, which I'm just not into. I'm just not into anymore. And so, knowing that we came down here to be something, right? We came down here with a vision, with a goal, and we've all got our own expressions of that. Is it really to work a grind-like job? Is it really to work a 9-to-5 job for some people? Maybe. But in reality, there is a passion within us. There is a passion spark within our souls, within our hearts, that is yearning, just so yearning to voice what it is through choice. It's waiting to be observed. It's waiting to be a co-creative aspect of the journey. And so it's up to us, the conscious part of us, to recognize what we really truly desire in the moment and ask, am I actually on the path towards that? Or am I actually running away from it? Am I distancing myself from it? Am I sabotaging my path towards it? We owe it to ourselves. We really owe it to ourselves to ask those questions and follow through with the answers that we receive. We owe it to ourselves to answer as honestly as possible. And be in receivership of that honesty. Like, not write it out in a journal and go, great, I'm really honest. I'm not going to read that. I've done that plenty of times. We can all do it. We all have the capacity to do it. That's ego defenses. I tell you, my journey has been so long. And I don't say that in a grandiose way, although there's been great moments. There's been undeniable great moments, and there are great moments right now. But the longness of my journey, I know for a fact, this is my honesty coming in now, it is through trying to avoid warlike terminology, but it's through a heavy presence of a lot of ego defenses. Let's just say it like that. A lot of ego defenses that are preventing me from acting on those aha moments when they've come along, which would have led to the next and the next and the next. Like, I've been kind of like kangarooing forward, like a new driver in a car, like stalling forward. Like, that's kind of been a lot of my journey. It can happen to the best of us. We can all have our blind spots. But knowing that we came down here to make the choices that our heart is desiring to make, knowing that we all do have a purpose, we all do have a true calling in this life. To not be honest with ourselves is to crush the dream within our heart. It is, it really is. I speak from experience. I've crushed my own dream. I've really done my best, or a part of me, let's just say, has done its best to crush a lot of my dreams, like getting so far, like, wow, we're here. It's like, oh, this feels like success. No. No. No success for you. But the thing is, I'm kind of done with that now. I'm kind of done with that part of me saying, no success, no abundance, no love, no connection, no beingness, you know. I'm done with that. Like, the conscious part of me has observed all of that and had to be really honest with it and go, wow, you know what? I've really distanced myself from a lot of beautiful things which, you know, were expansive and just kind of wanted to give to me. And I couldn't be in receivership. I couldn't. I totally couldn't. And I'm talking about career, I'm talking about romantic relationships, I'm talking about friendships, you know, the whole spectrum, the full spectrum. There has been an innate saboteur within me that has prevented some of those, let's just say, more peak moments. Yeah. And again, I'm using myself as an example here just to like illustrate the point and highlight the point that if we're honest with ourselves, if we can name all that stuff that makes us really deeply uncomfortable and sit with it and be with it and receive it and integrate it and act on it, more importantly maybe, we're advocating for the dream of the heart. We're sponsoring the dream of the heart with every expression of honesty that we can receive from ourselves. We are. If you could do only one thing to improve yourself for the rest of your life, I would say it would just be more honest with yourself. You know, there's like a ton of energetic techniques and practices, healing modalities, journaling, somatic practices, you name it. There's hundreds and thousands of this. There's infinite potentials out there, right? Let's be real. There's infinite potential. But sometimes it's good just to get real simple and say, you know what? What's just the one thing that would be really helpful right now? Not like the clickbait, like, you only need this one thing. That's not that video. It's not that video. What I'm doing is just being a little bit reductive for a moment and just saying, hey, just like, what about honesty? What about just being really deeply honest with yourself for a moment? And for a series of moments leading to maybe a peak moment of presence in which we can then go, oh, I let go of that. I let go. I surrender. Right? Just letting go. Just being with. Just be with. Just be with it. Just be with yourself. And just be with your honesty. All right. Lots of love. Take care.